The delegation has extended its stay in Istanbul to give peace another chance, as we were telling you, and Islamabad has been demanding from Kabul to take verifiable action against Fitna al-Khawarij and Fitna al-Hindustan. To talk more about this, we have online with us defense analyst Mr. Ikram Sehgal. Mr. Ikram Sehgal, welcome to Pakistan TV.
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure having you here, sir. Sir, given the failure to reach a common ground, we know that a stalemate was reached, a deadlock was reached. Now, some say that further dialogue would be futile. What is your opinion regarding that?
But at the same time, we must remember that they are not going to stay according to whatever they agree to in any dialogue. If you remember, as far as the first major point of the Doha Accord which they signed was that their territory would never be used for any activity outside, terrorist activity outside. They never adhered to that. And at the moment, they have no intention of doing that. And if you were to look at what they have done over the past year, particularly in the past month, when they had this bonhomie with New Delhi, and a very publicized bonhomie with New Delhi, and simultaneously, as soon as the thing was going on, the attack started right all along the border. It could not have happened. It's what a coincidence that it should happen all across the border at one time. So one has to be very careful in any dialogue with them. I would say to you very clearly that first of all, let them recognize the international border. And if they do not recognize the international border, why should we recognize it? Why should we not say, all right, fine, you do not recognize the international border, then we are free to attack any target that we feel is using it as a base against us. Look at the amount of casualties we've had. Look at the amount of material damage that we had. Look at the targets that they've attacked. Women, children, mosques, hospitals, soft targets, mostly, right? So the point is, there is the, whatever they agree to, is it worth the paper that they are writing on or they will sign? I do not think so. I think we should be very clear that we should be in for a long engagement with them. And for starters, we must first of all make sure that we stop all transit trade for the foreseeable future, unless agreement is come to about the international border. It cannot happen. It is nonsense to have any agreement with any country which does not even recognize your international border.
Very well said, Ikram Saab. And also, since Pakistan has decided to give peace another chance, what sort of a message is Pakistan giving to the entire world? And also, what kind of support is Pakistan expecting from the world powers?
Look, to start with, let us take our two friends who are intermediaries. First of all, Qatar and the other, Turkey. You can be rest assured that their sympathies are with us. Obviously, they do not want a conflict between two Islamic countries. They are people who helped, the NATO forces out of Afghanistan. But what happened? De facto, the unspoken thing was of an inclusive government. The unspoken thing was that women would be given the right. The unspoken thing, the written thing was that their territory would never be used for extraterritorial activities against a neighbor. Have they adhered to any of these? And let me tell you, it's no coincidence that while Mr. Muttaqi was in Delhi, they started attacking all across the border. That we gave them a fitting response shocked them. That why don't they publish a list of all the peoples who died in the two attacks that we made on Kandahar and Kabul against certain locations where there were Indian advisors with them, right? So the point is, they do not mean well to us. They're just fighting for time. And I think we have to be very clear. If you see, nobody, not even one nation has condemned that preemptive strikes that we took against them in Kabul and Kandahar. Not even one nation has done that. So even their so-called friends have not done that. So we should take our cue from that, and we should not ever reserve our right. I'm very glad that the government has taken a positive attitude to ensure that such attacks do not keep on happening. And even at the moment, we have terrorist activity inside, but they cannot happen without those bases across the border.
Also, Sehgal Saab, like you very rightly mentioned, that not even one nation condemned our preemptive strike, and I think that's a very important point that you mentioned. Since we have seen in the past what has happened, lip service, breaking of promises, breaking of deals, there is a severe lack of trust between both the governments, Pakistan and Afghanistan. And whenever we talk about trust, that takes eons to build, to rebuild again, to cement like before. So do you think that's going to happen anytime soon, or perhaps we're going to need decades for that?
My friend, for 45 years, you have helped the Afghans. 45 years.
Yes.
Because of them, your entire society has been damaged. Because of them, their Afghans have come and settled in droves in your urban areas, particularly in Karachi, in Quetta, in Islamabad and Peshawar, and many other towns, right? Because of them, a drug culture and Kalashnikov culture has come in. And yet, who are the people who are the most vehement against us? This is an ungrateful lot. You cannot trust people who are ungrateful, right? So let's not be emotional about it. And if I tell you very frankly, if they do not recognize the international border, then we should clear all Pashtun territories across the border as our own. Why not have another separate province of our own, Pashtun province of our own across that they have, they say? That would be a terrific buffer state between us and the rest of whatever is left of Afghanistan.
Well, very rightly said, Ikram Sehgal Saab. Thank you very much for giving us your time and your insight into the matter. Very insightful comments, really.